night off. Well, first at 6, nearly 3,000 Vermonters will soon have to leave the hotels and motels they've lived in temporarily. The hotel housing program is going back to its pre-pandemic eligibility rules. Lawmakers and advocates say they need to find quick solutions to save lives. And today, the governor spoke about this urgent issue. ABC 22 State House reporter Josh Morrill joins us live in the newsroom with more about all the urgency. Josh?
Well, Mike, Vermont has spent almost $200 million keeping the expanded version of the General Assistance Housing Program afloat in hotels and motels across the state, but many of the people in the program will be removed from it next Thursday after the administration and the majority of lawmakers said the state can't afford it anymore. And today, Governor Phil Scott and his administration said they're being proactive, but will have to take a wait-and-see approach to address all of the needs. 5 days before hundreds of Vermonters are kicked out of their temporary homes, Governor Phil Scott says his administration is working to find answers.
We're going to work with them as best we can to help them through it.
As the program currently helping people stay in hotels and motels ends, Scott says the more stringent pre-pandemic requirements will be brought back on July 1st, but with some temporary adjustments.
Now it serves children up to with families with children up to 6. We're going to allow and expand that to families with children who are up to 18.
Those families will be eligible for a 28-day extension in the program. And as for the remaining families, Samuelson says about 25% have a plan to move elsewhere. But that still leaves many families in limbo. And some say the administration is putting them in a potentially deadly situation.
I'm frustrated with the administration on not having a plan.
If people were able to remain sheltered, we could come together, state agencies, people on the ground, shelters, and impacted individuals to actually create a responsible transition.
But Governor Scott responded saying even the current program is leaving families without the services they need. And other lawmakers say there's plenty of blame to go around.
We made a mistake.
At the end of the legislative session, lawmakers decided to not include funding to continue the program. Right now, both sides are looking at using some flexible dollars in the current budget to help supplement the care. But Representative Emma Mulvaney Stanek says the administration's plan to find community housing isn't sufficient.
That doesn't work for every person, right? That's not a great environment for families. That's not a great environment for folks with high mental health needs.
In the meantime, Scott hopes those required to leave their temporary homes do so.
We'll address it as we need to.
Mulvaney Stanek said she and other lawmakers will announce their plans to help those affected by the program in Burlington next week after an expected veto of their budget by the governor. And Scott has not yet made a decision on the budget, but he says today, quote, it wouldn't be surprising if he did veto it. So he also said he'd consider a temporary suspension of housing rules across the state as well. Live in the newsroom tonight, Josh Morrill, ABC 22 News.
And Josh, the end of the program